Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the championship match is about to begin. In the red corner, we have the challenger for Memphis XLR8. Squaring off with him in the blue corner, our defending champion, El Tigre Grande.
On YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis XL. Alright, welcome me back to check this out. The show, we take a look, whatever deck we want to take a look at, and have ourselves a good old time. Today, everybody, we're finally taking a look at the new Gouki support. Old Goukis, those terrors from yesteryear, have returned with some new support to them, and I am looking forward to testing it out. So we got ourselves our Gouki deck. Pretty straightforward, just trying to summon out all the Goukis onto the board, make some links, make some more links, bring back some more monsters, and do all the new stuff aside. New fusion, new synchro, new link, all the good stuff. So we got ourselves our deck here today. We're going to show off the wombos and the combos, the what do's and the what not do's, and show off what the old Goukis have to offer. So of course you want the whole deck profile. That's going to be after the duels. We're going to be having 3 duels on yugioh Pro, that Wild West Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we're going to show off the deck profile, and also there will be we'll do the YRP file for this one on our Discord. So link to that in the description. For now, though, let's get right into the action, show off what this baby can do, and have ourselves a good old Gouki time. Alright, everybody, our first opponent, another day and another card game. With our deck, we prefer to go first in order to go second, a little bit of setup, and then we go for the goal. That's the sort of plan we have for today. Unfortunately, I didn't draw into the card I was looking to get, but I can make this work depending on what happens. For now, we're just going to set Gouki Guts, and we're going to end our turn. Now, you prefer to start with Superstars. He is the main Gouki monster. You want to get him. Or if you have to, get the new Majin Superstars. Either one will work for you. We do appear to be up against Monarchs of some variety. That could make things tricky. We'll see how it goes. We're up against Morganite plus the lockdown and all the negates in the world. That's just standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays. It's just negation all over the place. We have some negates too, but it's not the main plan, as one would say. Regardless, this guy's got 4 face downs. I'm going to guess 2 imperms. What else? He's got a couple of imperms, a couple other things, blah, 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 whatever. Remind me how Morgana works again. This negates attacks. Okay. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and put our Gouki Guts into attack mode. We're going to normal summon our Gouki Twist Cobra. It's time to go for the gold. We're going to go ahead and start with our Link monster, the Shake Ogre. This is definitely going to get negated, but I'm going to explain it anyway for later. So Shake Ogre is our Link 2 monster, a special. He's very new and very cool. But more importantly, all of these Goukis are going to activate in the graveyard. Once per turn for each of them, I'll get to search any Gouki card I like. So, as expected, yeah, it's lose a turn. Monsters face up the field, negate turns, effects. So many lose a turns. So many. Why would you even need 2 of these? I don't understand. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and get Majin Superstars, which is our newest member. He's very good for starting boards, and we're going to get a level 2. We need a level 2 for this. We have Iron Claw, but I'm going to save Iron Claw for later. I'm going to get Headbat. I'm going to go get my boy Headbat. Now, normally, Shake Ogre here would allow me to special summon any number of Goukis from my hand with different levels, so long as they get, something gets added to my hand. Well, we're going to use it now anyway, but just for the record, that was going to be the plan. Regardless of which, let's go ahead and bring out some more stuff. This guy might have lose a turn. I really don't care. I mean, this guy can have his little floodgates all day in the week. I don't really mind. It's like whatever at this point. For now, though, change plan slightly. Due to floodgatey nonsense, we are going to link off everybody into Gouki the Power Load Ogre, which normally would be immune to everything, because that's how he works, but doesn't work in this situation. I really just want someone that can, punch my opponent in the face to punish them for playing floodgates. Regardless of which, we're going to go ahead and just search out more stuff and be prepared for next turn. We'll just have to be prepared for freaking lose a turn. Alright, I mean, I could work with this. It's not going to be fun or easy to do, but I can work with it. I still have my... Let's see, this is only... Let's see, during the turn it was special summoned. Okay, so next turn, Power Load will be Moon again. Or rather, his effects will work again, so that's good. So long as I get my effects to work, I mean, then Power Load Ogre will be immune to everything. Granted, he'll be destroyed right now, but little did my opponent suspect I had the Iron Claw. Which, funnily enough, only works on Power Load because he was negated, so that's really on my opponent's fault. So yeah, that'll end our turn for now. Power Load Ogre is now free to do what he wants. He was Link Summoned, meaning he is immune to all my opponent's card effects. Doesn't matter what he plays now, it won't work on Gouki Power Load Ogre, so we're good. I mean, yeah, this guy's also got Vanity's Ruler. This is classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays, regrettably. Wish it weren't the case, but yeah, my monster's bigger than yours, son. Well, it's time to put you to bed. So what's this doing? You're going to get, let's see, get another card. Okay. Smart move, smart move. Alright, now you have Drolly Locky Birdie, but I mostly play this to stop it, so we're not going to play that yet. For now, we should be Gucci. Let me think about how I'm going to go about this, because I can't special summon, period, because of Vanity Boy. So let's just punch Vanity in the face. I'll show you Vanity, son. Yeah, that's not going to work anymore, my man. Ain't going to work no more for your silly little lockdowns. Yeah, that's what I thought. You know what, I'm just going to end my turn right now. I'm going to let my opponent know and understand that they are screwed. Okay? All their normal combo wombos are not going to work for them no more. So what is this guy got? Recall, Solemn Judgment. Don't even care. See, this is normally not what my deck wants to do. Normally, this is the part where I do, like, all these cool combos I get for Suprex and Twist Cobra. We're just dumping Goukis to the graveyard. We're getting more cards. We're setting things up. I go for Master Ogre. I get a, like, Firewall Dragon and even the G-Golems. Even the G-Golems shop. It's absolutely insane. But unfortunately, my opponent didn't want any of that. So I'm just going to go for the gold here. I mean, I could just Gouki Power Load Ogre and do combos, but at this point, I'm just gonna destroy this dude. Oh yeah, he doesn't pay light points for Solemn. That's really annoying. I mean, is what is, I suppose. But regardless, let's just punch him with Gouki Power Load Ogre. Nothing he can do about it, so we'll just go for that. And let me think about this. You know what? Next turn. I think next turn, yeah, we'll stop screwing around with this dude. This guy wanted to screw with me. I'm going to screw him harder. That's just how it's going to go. Ooh. Now that's a spicy meatball. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of Power Load Ogre and pop lose a turn, because it really just annoyed me. And with that being the case, normally I don't play this so early, but screw it. Let's see here. We did lose Shake Ogre, that's true. This will not be the typical combo. But we'll do some snarky stuff anyway. Let's see. I got Twist Cobra. I got this. It doesn't really matter who I'm summoning back because they'll all activate again. I just need to get Twist Cobra in the graveyard. That's the most important thing right now. For now, though, we'll go ahead for Gouki Guts and mash Suprex, and we're going to summon out. Oh, yeah, I need a level 2. There we go. Get Iron Claw on the board. Now we can do what we wanted to do before. We're going to go for the new Synchro monster, which is Gouki Dragon Ogre. Now, he only searches spells, but he does it on summon. So it's pretty neat. And by linking this dude off, I'll be able to get back Suprex and do some more combos. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and do everybody here. Let's see here. Because normally this is the part where I get... this is normally where Moonsault comes into play, and I could do some cool stuff there. But regrettably, that's not going to be the case. So we're just going to have to do something different here. So... with all, let's see, link those three off. I need Headbat, because I need to get another monster on the board to make my link 3. And let's get Gouki's fight. Well, I'm going to get Fighting Spirit. So let's get something. Let's get Finisher, because we're going to just annihilate this dude. Let's put it that way. Let's just get that. Let's get Gouki's Fighting Spirit, so I can show off that little bit of combo right there. And we'll be good for there. Oh, I already have 2 monsters with the same name? Don't mind if I yes. Why not? So this is Gravity Balance. It's a really powerful spell in this deck because I can just revive 2 monsters and use them for links and things. Let's see here. Yep, we're going to go ahead and make Gouki. There you go. The Thunderous Ogre. Now, with our Ogre going to the graveyard, they're all Ogres, pretty much, I'm going to be able to get back any of the Gokis that have less attack than my monster. And thanks to Gouki Thunder Ogre, I get an extra normal summon. So I can just bring back Suprex, that extra normal summon, not once per turn at all. Bring out another dude, and then, let's see here, have I got another summon? I do. I'm just thinking of how I could really mess with this guy at this point. Because there's a lot of things I could do to mess with this guy. The question is, what do I want to do? There's so many things I want to do, and so many things I need to do. Physically, mentally, emotionally. So let's go for Gouki the Master Ogre. Normally someone you don't put in the main monster zones, but I do get to search 4 cards right now. So why the heck not? I'm actually surprised this guy hasn't surrendered yet. I imagine he must have Karibo in his hand. It's the only thing that makes logical sense. Regardless, we'll search our 4 cards, because why the heck not would we do this? We'll go ahead and get our Gouki's rematch. We'll go ahead and grab... This really matter. Again, the way my opponent played really messed up what I normally want to do. But ultimately, what you always need to remember is, if first plans don't work, you gotta adapt what your strategy is gonna be. So we're just gonna adapt and get some more cards to our hand. And we're gonna activate the spell card, Gouki's Fighting Spirit, which is the new card. Now, we're going to use its effect, banishing off a Link 3 Gouki monster. It can be a higher one, too, and this just lets me get out whatever I want. I get Crystal Heart, I could get Dire Wrestler Spin Boy, but I'm going to go ahead and get Terextal, because Terextal is cool. Now, with that all being said, let me think about this. Let's see, reveal this card, target a Gouki you control, summon this card, turn them up to the hand. I can summon the Moonsault, but there's really no point in doing so. So for this first duel, we'll keep it nice and simple. Oh, I forgot to use finishing move. Either way, I just want to attack with everybody and show off that that's kind of what the Goukis want to do. You get a nice sense of what we're trying to do with this deck. Is just get the Goukis on the board, link them off, search out the wazoo. The main combo involves Sheik. We didn't get to see that one, but hopefully the second duel, that'll go off without a hitch. And we'll get to show off exactly where this deck's real power belongs. But it's nice to get Chimera Terexal on the board. You don't always get to do that, but you know, that's where the nice new Fighting Spirit comes into play. You know, you can bring out this creature. You can bring out the G-Golems if you want to. Still not sure why, but you can bring out the G-Golems too. So, good for the first duel. We managed to out-troll the troll at his own game. You know, my monster was just too big for him. So let's go ahead for duel number 2. Show off more what the Goukis really could do. Alright, second opponent, let's go and do it again. But hopefully this time we don't get interrupted by nonsensical nonsense. Regardless, we have a perfectly good opening hand. I like it immensely. We have redundancies out the wazoo. For now, though, Reinforcement of Arms, which is a very important card in this deck, because there's not a lot of ways to search Gouki Superstars, much as we'd like to. You know, there is Small World, but it's a little complicated with that one. For now, though, we'll go for a Gouki Superstars, and we'll bring out his old partner in crime, the Twisty Cobra. And we're going to start off linking off, and this time, we should be able to show off more of the combos in this deck, and I appreciate that. So as before, we're going to search out a couple of Gouki cards. Very nice indeed. One really great thing about the Goukis is they have that redundancy to them. And that if my opponent asks one of these, I can just change up, go for a rematch, and do other things. For now, though, we're going to go with these two. We will not be using Sheik Ogre yet, though. Very important. Do not use it the first time. We'll use him at some point, but not yet. For now, though, we'll summon out these two. We'll get everything we want. And hey, thanks to I already have Fighting Spirit, I can just get rematch here, and that's even better. It's even better when you start out with one or the other, you know what I mean? So for now, we'll go ahead and get everything. One spell, please, and a couple of monsters. Here we will get the Moonsault Rabbit, and it doesn't really matter who else, just anyone we haven't already played. Anyone we haven't already played, we will be getting now. For now, though, we will get the Rabbit. We get the Rabbit. We already have a level 1, so let's get a level... I'm going to get rid of Scorpio, just because I like to get him out of the deck. I prefer to get him out of the deck when possible, just so he doesn't like get stuck in anywhere. So that'll be good for now, and now we activate the effect of Sheik Ogre. So with my Snaky Boy, we will summon out all of these Gouki monsters. Very important, though, you want to make sure that there's a zone clear for your Link 3, so you can do the full combo. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, I could just fusion summon now. There is a really good fusion, but he's better for, like, later in the turn, so we'll do that at some point. But now is not a good time. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and link off a couple of our monsters. We'll go ahead and make up our Gouki's Thunder Ogre. With Scorpio, of course, we'll search us another card, as that's what we do. And let's get Iron Claw for later. And we're going to activate Moonsault Rabbit's effect, returning our Sheik to the extra deck. And this will get me back my Gouki Superstars. So, having done all of that, we're now going to go ahead and make our Masterful Ogre using Thunder Ogre, Dragon Ogre, and Gouki Guts. And we can also use Moonsault. Actually, let's just use these two for now. That works just as well. So Gouki Dragon Ogre will do his thing again, targeting our Masterful Ogre, and I can just get back whoever I really want. Doesn't really matter again. We're just going to be using this as an excuse to summon out more... oh, wait, I forgot to do the normal summon. Whoops. Okay, I messed that one up just a smidge. Not a big issue. Not a big issue whatsoever. But let's go ahead for our Fighting Spirit. I forgot to do my extra normal summon. That's my bad. This deck does get complicated in that respect. Sometimes you do things a little too quickly for yourself. But that's okay. For now, though, let's go ahead and use Gouki Guts' effect. This will give my Gouki Master a big old boost of power. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and activate our Gouki rematch. Bring back a couple of Gouki monsters. But to do something a little bit different. You know, like I said before, if plans don't succeed at first, you must come up with new plans. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and make... I could make Shake Ogre. But I'd rather do that later. You know what I mean? I'd rather do that later much. So for now, we're going to link these three off. We're going to go ahead and make our Gouki Blade Ogre. Going to use Gouki Guts' effect to get us yet another card. And that time, it's going to be... let's get Gouki Face Turn. I'm feeling Face Turn will be very good here. And we're going to activate the effect of Gouki's Fighting Spirit, tributing off our Gouki Blade Ogre to summon out G-Golem Crystal Heart. Now, when Crystal Heart's effect, when it gets summoned out, I just bring back a high-link monster, such as my Thunder Warrior here. And let's see here. Many things to be done here, many things. But I'm thinking we'll just go simple this time since I messed the combo up and I want to overcomplicate. We'll make Golem. Good old Dolmen here. Co-link monsters I have, unaffected by stuff. This is very neat. Now, granted, I messed up, so I have nothing to use Master Ogre with, so I don't really have anything there, but that's on me. Let's see what my opponent could do. This isn't the same guy, though, right? I mean, I see that there's no extra deck again. I hope this isn't a rematch. I don't really pay attention to what my opponent's names are, so I don't know. It could be for all I know. I just kind of take whoever comes in. I'm not like a... I'm not going to be one of them cherry pickers picking my duels here. That's not how I roll. So, if it's the same guy who wants to rematch, hey, I'll kick his butt twice. There you go. No. Of course, the one time I don't have something to negate stuff. That happens. Alright. But he played in the Imperm column, so theoretically, this isn't the worst thing in the world. One good thing, though, is that he can steal Gouki here, but he has to attack... okay, I'm starting to think that this is the same guy, isn't it? Okay, I might have to do a fourth duel if this is the same... it is the same guy, isn't it? Okay. Okay, it's the same dude. Good for you. Anyway, you have to attack Dolmen now. That's kind of the rule of how this card works. You have to attack him. Can't attack any other things. Now, granted, I don't have anything to force my opponent to attack right at the moment. I have those cards. I have them in here somewhere. Yeah, go ahead. Attack my monster. You wanted a rematch. You knew what you were getting into. But clearly you didn't. Alright, well, now that it's time for us to continue on, let me double check one quickie dicky thing. And that is with our Tyrannical Ogre, Warrior, Dino, or Cyberse Monster. Okay, that works. That works beautifully. Absolutely. We're going to summon out Gouki Superstars. He might solemn me, which is possible. He did play that one spell where he can just solemn me for free. Surprised I haven't seen as many Counter Fairy players, considering this is literally Ariadne Plus. So, kind of weird. But, let's see here. I got Face Turn. I get Ditch Fighting Spirit. Thinking. You know, it's thinking them thoughts and all that good stuff. I think we just attack for now. I really want to do more. I want to do more. But unfortunately, my opponent... Oh, he just did. I would have had game if I just summoned another monster, but yeah, I just like dicking around with this guy at this point. This guy wants to dick around with me with his silly little lockdown cards that clearly don't work, because my opponent can't read what things do. Well, that's on them. But regardless, I've proven that my deck is, in fact, troll-proof, if not necessarily me-proof, because I could have done more with that combo. I messed up. Mea culpa. Let's go for duel number 3. Dial in. Time to dial in, do the full thing, because I want to get out Singularity Dragon. I want to have Firewall in the graveyard. I want to get Dolmen at the same time. We haven't even some of the Tyrant Ogre. Maybe I'll choose to go second, just to get the Tyrant out, because that was my plan. I was going to get the Tyrant out, but my opponent wouldn't let me. Alrighty, everybody, it's time for our third opponent, the fight in the third. Very appropriate fight in third. And this time, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to be trying to go second today, because we want to try, we've done most everything in the deck. We've done a lot of the combos and the wombos, the what do's and the what not do's. Well, all I really want to do is go in for Tyrant Ogre, because we haven't done Tyrant Ogre. Ooh. Okay, I can't imperm that. There's, like, legal reasons so you can't imperm mother flippin' worm sex, okay? One thing, it's sexist, and two things, it's just too cool. We're up against a worm deck! Hey! Lordy, when was the last time I saw a worm? Okay, this is probably the part where it's Mitsurugi or Ogdoadic or something, but still. I couldn't imperm this for multiple reasons. Anyway, so we are up against Ogdoadic Snicks. Uh-huh. Ooh, there's aliens mixed in too. Okay, we got a smorgasbord of reptiles and things. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Alien Buster spreading them AE counters. Okay. All I'm really concerned about is like getting another Gouki in the hand. I mean, I've got my Headbat, I've got Moonsault. Not the ideal combo here, but if I can just get a Gouki, doesn't really matter whom it is, because I can summon it and then use Headbat's effect, ditching Moonsault to bring him out. Link off, go for the goal, that sort of thing. That's my plan anyway. We'll see how it's going to go, whether it's going to work or not. That's my hope and my dream, is just to get that going. So let's see what we got. Alright. More Ogdoadics doing Ogdoadic things. Okay. Very cool indeed. Let's see here. You already have pretty good setup for the most part. You're actually playing Ogdoadic King. I didn't think I'd ever see anyone play Ogdoadic King. Then again, he has the Nephthybis, the Overlord, so he can just bring back the king if you wanted to. Okay. Kind of curious why you would even play the king. This is like not even that good. I mean, you have Ogdoadics, and this is the guy that can just get rid of every monster on the field except for the one summoned from the GY. So that's like a really powerful thing. Ooh, Future Fusion too. Ooh, goodness. Goodness gracious, me oh my. I wait a turn on this thing, he's going to be dumping every reptile in his deck to the graveyard and summoning out Worm Zero. Which I still don't understand why worms don't have a fusion spell. I feel like at some point, just randomly, incredibly randomly, Konami's going to announce a worm fusion spell and give them no other support. They'll just be like, oh yeah, here's a worm fusion spell that lets you use the cards in your main deck to fusion summon a worm. Have fun. That's what's going to happen. Absolutely, 100%. That's what Konami does sometimes. But I think we're okay. At the moment, we're fine. We're fine at the moment. Let's put it that way. I don't know what my opponent's waiting on, but yeah, he's got himself nice in the setup. Got some wormy dermies in the gray. He did not revive Yagan, which is interesting. I feel like that was a misplay. He forgot to summon back Yagan, because it's kind of like a thing with Yagan. Okay, that works. Yeah, this will work. It's not ideal, but it will work. So first we're going to imperm the, what's this guy's name again? Ogdoadics. Yeah, we're going to negate that guy, so I don't have to deal with that. And we're going to activate Un for Un. Just bring out a level 1 monster, and if he negates this, I mean, that's not great, but I can work with it, I think. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Yeah, we're all good. I think it's waiting because he could use Ogdoadics' effect, even though it's negated. But, neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. So we'll see how this, let's see. Did this do anything else? I don't think so. No. Alright, regardless, let's go ahead and bring out, it doesn't really matter. Let's bring out Gouki Guts. We're going to bring out my boy, the Gouki Guts. And we'll be all set for days. It's time to go for the gold, basically. So let's go ahead into our Sheik. Where is Sheik? There is Sheik. But Chumba. Okay, so now we have our Shake Ogre. And much as we did before, yeah. Yeah, Gouki Guts is activating his effect. Gouki Head Battle loses his effect. We're gonna get Iron Claw, and we're gonna get Mashin Rex. And we're gonna attempt to go for our Tyrannical Ogre. And come hell or high water, if I'm right about my maths and things, this ought to allow me to not only clear board, but also save my bacon. This ought to work phenomenally. This may not be the combo in the deck, but dang it, this show is about showing off all the different things the deck can do. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do. So for now, we're going to make our Dragonic Ogre by Chumba. Bring out that dude. That'll get me a spell, even though I don't really need a spell right now. Really, all I need is, well, honestly, I don't really need that much, to be honest. Not especially. Let me think about this. Because I could go for face turn instead if I felt like it. But we're going to get Twist Cobra. Then I can summon it. And I'm going to get Scorpio. Because honestly, all I really want to do... I'm going for a fusion now. We'll get our Fighting Spirit for later. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and activate our Shake Ogre's effect. Bring back all of the monsters. Calling all the monsters on the board. And we're going to link off into our link 3. Let me double check this thing. Let's see. Using the fusion monsters. The fusion monster requires... a warrior. Okay, here we go. Here we... If I can click the buttons right... Here we go. Alright, we'll link off those 3. Make Gouki the Blade Ogre. I could have gone for like a 4-star, but I think 3 is just plenty. 3 is plenty. So we're going to go for un, dos, and we'll get back Suprex, just so we have that guy around. Yep. Target the Blade Ogre. So let's go ahead and recover... Oh yeah, we got Mashin Rex in the group, that's right. Yeah, so we'll get Suprex for later. And we'll get... Doesn't even matter who I get. I'm just going to get Bear Hug to get him out of the deck. And that ought to work. So let's activate Gouki Sheik Ogre's effect and fusion summon it into the Tyrannical Ogre. Chumba. So now that I've summoned this dude out, I can pop 5 different cards on the board, and my opponent can't do bub kiss about it. I'm sorry, my worm brother. You were a trooper, but I have to hit you with the pooper. So we'll attack the Tyrant Ogre. If my opponent had anything to play right now, they couldn't do it anyway. So where's Gucci? We're good. So we'll just end our turn right there. I still, even if he had Yugon, it wouldn't have mattered, but I still think he should have summoned Yugon. Unless there was something preventing that, he should have summoned Yugon. Regardless, that ought to... Oh, hold on, he's not done yet. This son of a gun ain't done, son. Oh no, he is not done at all. I top-decked Alien Ammonite. Okay. I'm curious where this is going to go. I mean, Tyrant Ogre is really good for, like, attacking and stuff, but he has no protection in of himself. So that's going to make things a little dicey here. Just a little bit, but we'll see what this is going to go into. I assume this is Golgar, and indeed that is what it is. Let's see. Remove 2 counters to destroy a card on the field. Yep. Oh no, brand new card defeated by a card from like 20 years ago? Who would have thought? Alright. Hey, every once in a while on EDO Pro, you see a lot of trolls, and you see a lot of tryhards. Every once in a while, you see a cool dude like this. Every once in a while, you see a cool dude like this. So, I'm happy for that. I'm happy that even though I'm going to have to destroy this gentleman, I don't want to destroy you, but I have no choice. The cards told me to do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Bear Hug. Let me think. Have your attack points. What else can I do here? I'm thinking. Okay, we need to do other cool stuff, because that is kind of the name of this game right here. So we're going to bring back our Blade Ogre. And I could use Blade Ogre's effect to tribute Golgar. That would also be really cool. Oh, that's a hard one. there's too many cool things I can do with this deck, and it's hard to pick one. It's legit hard to pick one. Honestly, for truly, it is difficult. But I'm going to go ahead and summon out this guy, Gigaspinasava. Why? Because I feel like it. That's why. I'm going to bring this dude out. I just target and pop one. You know, you pop me, I pop you back. Alright, and that ought to be the game. So we're going to end this duel. It was a nice fun back and forth with my opponent. I really want to do like a fourth duel, but I really can't let the duels videos get too long. I'm sure I'm already stretching it. So, much as I'd like to keep dueling, let's go for the end screen. We've shown off most of this deck anyway, so let's go for the end screen. Talk more about this one. Alrighty, everybody, so Goukis with all the new support. We didn't get the most variety out of our opponents, but we had a dice showing off of what the deck is trying to do. Just summon out a whole bunch of monsters. Alrighty, everybody, so Goukis with all the new support. Didn't have the most variety with our opponents today. I think I dueled the same guy twice by mistake, but it's neither here nor there. We did what we wanted to do. We summoned all the monsters onto the board, got them off the board into the graveyard. We searched all the cards out of our deck, and then we just kept comboing off. You know, that has always been Gouki's biggest selling point, is the ability to search out all the members of the archetype once per turn per copy of them. You know, everyone's going to search out another member. You're going to keep going off the combos. The new cards help tremendously, especially Sheik Ogre. Yeah, Sheik limits you to a degree, but once you link off everything that you summoned with Sheik, then you can do whatever the heck you want. So, I'm happy with how the deck turned out. I think it turned out pretty darn well, you know. I still wish that the Vernisil version had worked out better, but it just didn't want to click. It just didn't want to click. It was just too many moving parts. You know, there's already enough moving parts with this deck as it is. Overcomplicating the machine is not going to make it better. It's going to make it more of a hectic mess. Okay? So, I'm happy with how the Goukis turned out today. I really liked them indeed. If y'all liked it, don't forget to smack the like button and subscribe for more. So we got to build this channel back up. I got a whole bunch of decks I got to make next week. One off the Discord and a couple off of fan suggestions and stuff. So, I got to get all that done. On top of finishing the Tryman review video, so I'm going to be losing sleep again. Alright, regardless, here's the deck profile. Again, this is also going to be via our Discord. I'm going to put one of them YRP files, whatever it is, on there. So if you have Yugioh Pro, it's easy to get. There's a tutorial video on that page as well, so if you need to know how to do it. But here is the deck profile here, for anyone who doesn't want to go through all that. So for the main deck, we play one copy of Nibiru, so we can use cross the designator on it. We have Gouki Bear Hug at 1, along with one Moonsault as part. The Moonsault's part of a big combo. Bear Hug, he can reduce monster's attack, which is cool, but he's mostly just another searcher. One Rescorpio for an emergency Cyber Dragoness monster, but also more searching. Code Zero Break for our, one part of our combo. 3 copies of Super X and 3 copies of bigger Super X, because these are our main starting up monsters, especially OG Super X. We have 2 copies of Twist Cobra. I find 2 is just plenty. Again, more searching. A couple Ash Blossoms. You might wonder why not 3 Ash Blossom. It's because I'm sick of 3 Ash Blossom, that's why. But, we mostly, again, play this for cross out, so I didn't feel like 3. We have 2 copies of Gouki Iron Claw and 3 Headbat as our main level 2 monsters. Iron Claw has a good effect in the hand. Really good effect for just boosting your monster's attack, preventing it from being affected from card effects during the battle phase, all that good stuff. Really useful Iron Claw, but again, he's a main searcher buff, and you use him for your synchro. Same for Headbat, you can special summon him in an emergency if you discard another Gouki, but also just a good level 2. Also, we have 2 copies of Gouki Guts for an emergency defensive option, plus makes my Goukis bigger if I need it. Not by much, but hey, every little bit counts. And lastly, we have Octastretch. It's kind of like the Karibo of the archetype. I can discard him to have damage, which is pretty useful here and there. But again, all the Goukis are in here to search out more Goukis. We have 1 Droll Lockbird for our designator. We have Un for emergency bring out a spare monster. 1 Triple Tactical Silence for our Pot of Greed. We have Gouki's Face Turn, which is switch 1 Gouki for any other in the graveyard. We have our Reinforcement of Arm, because searching out Super X is important. We have Gouki Finishing Move, which can make our big links even bigger. It's absolutely, just make a Gouki gain 4,000 attack right away. You put this on the Master and you put out a bunch of monsters, it's game over. You have 1 copy of Gravity Balance, which is an interesting card in the deck, because, we have a whole bunch of monsters with the same name in here. This can revive 2 monsters that have the same name. They do have their effects negated, their attacks go to 0, but it doesn't restrict you. That's the important bit. It's kind of like a chunk of Soul Charge in this deck, because I can just revive more monsters. It's It's pretty good. It is once per turn, mind you, but it doesn't restrict you in any way, shape, or form. So I like it when gravity balance. It really helps out, especially when you go into the G golems. We have 2 copies of Gouki Rematch. Again, a card you'd think to play at 3, and you can. It's a really powerful card. The only thing is, if you're in a situation where you need 3 rematches, you're in a lot of trouble. Let's put it that way. So I find 2 is plenty. You search it out plenty good enough, and you just get enough uses out of it that you should never need a 3rd. You have 1 copy of Monster Reborn for generic summoning back of monsters. We have Call of the Grave to stop hand traps. We have Cross Identity Designator to stop all of the hand traps. We have 2 copies of Fighting Spirit, which is it's an interesting card because it has nothing to do with fighting. It's just about, bring out a monster from the hand, tribute off a high link monster to summon out a Dino Wrestler or G Golem from the deck or extra deck. So I guess it has something to do with fighting, but indirectly. But I play a couple copies of this. Helps unclog hands if you happen to not have Super X in the hand. You'll want to have Fighting Spirit to bring out one of your monsters so that you can go in for your link and get things started. And you can trade off your high links you don't need or don't want to go for some snarky tech cards. And then lastly, we have 3 Imperms because I'm not quite tired of this card yet because it's really useful for slowing people down. So as for the extra deck, we have 1 copy of G Golem Crystal Heart as part of our G Golem combo. Makes it so G Golems get some extra points and all that good stuff. And our good old Gouki Chic Ogre, which is our primary new link for combo starting. Summon this thing out, get a bunch of searches, go for our synchro play, get some more searches. At any point, Chic Ogre can then, when you add cards to the hand, special summon more Goukis from the hand, so as they have different levels. You're locked into Goukis till you get rid of them all, but that's why we have all these big links. We have, of course, our Code Breaker Virus Swordsman, which is part of our Code Breaker combination for making our Singularity Dragon, which we'll get into. We have our Gouki Thunder Ogre for an additional normal summon. He also has an effect for when things get destroyed, but yeah, almost never will ever even consider using that part. It's really in here, so you get an extra normal summon of Super X, and then you can also get rid of it with Fighting Spirit for another monster. We have 1 Gouki Blade Ogre, who sadly his art is not working on my Yugioh Pro, but he's an interesting dude as well. Another Link 3 if you need it, but he can also tribute stuff that he is pointing to in order to attack twice. It's pretty good, and that's as a cost. You have to tribute a monster, so that can get around things like Dragoon or a whole bunch of other troublesome things. Hard to set that up, but it's better to have it than not. We already talked about Berserker here. We have G Golem and Valve Dolmen. Nice combination with Crystal Heart to have a nice big monster on the board. You have this co-linked with the monsters on the board. Those monsters unaffected by monster effects on the opponent's board. The opponent has to attack Dolmen if they want to attack with anything at all. If you have Crystal Heart doing its thing, it's going to get a 600 point boost, be able to attack multiple times in a turn. And plus this guy, well, he has other effects, but they're not as relevant. But he does negate the effects of face-up cards to the opponents if he does get destroyed. So there's something there. We have Firewall Dragon for bouncing, and well, that's pretty much it. We have him for bouncing, and we can recover him. But he's a nice link 4 we can make. Not too shabby. It's also nice to be able to bounce stuff on occasion. But, he's mostly here for climbing into bigger things. We have our Gouki the Masterful Ogre as our primary boss monster. He can bounce Goukis to negate cards of my opponents. For every Gouki I bounce that's pointing to him, I can negate a face-up card. You'll rarely do more than 1 at a time, but it's good to have him. He can also attack all the opponent's monsters once per turn. But the one thing about Ogre, he has to attack the monster with the highest attack. That is his one downside. He has to attack the biggest boy first. We have our Gouki Powerload Ogre, in case you just need a big old beefy boy. He's unaffected by all card effects, including your own, mind you, so pay attention to that part. But you can tribute him to target and destroy cards up to the link rating on him. You also tribute your other Goukis as well, that is a thing. You can basically just chuck his allies at the opponent. So, Gouki Powerload, a nice alternate boss monsters for the Goukis. You don't make him as often, but there's nothing wrong with him. Plus, you can also have him co-linked to Dolmen, so that's interesting to think about. Not that you need to, but you could. We have our Singularity Dragon, just a nice big old Link monster of the Link 6 variety. Lordy, I wish there was a 7 and an 8, but regardless, we have Singularity Dragon. He can bounce cards up to the number of different extra deck types in our graveyard or on our board, which we go up to 2 at max, but it's still the ability to pop or bounce multiple cards, so that's pretty good. And he has the arrows to point Dolmen if we need to. But he also has the ability that if anything that he's pointing to gets destroyed by battle or sent to the grave by whatever means, you can revive a Cybers in the graveyard, as in getting back Cyber, or a Fireball Dragon, I should say. So, resets that. That's pretty good. Pretty dang good boss monster there. We have our Gouki Dragon Ogre as part of our main combo. Weirdly, has nothing on the board for actually battling, which I think is strange, but you summon him out, you get out a spell card. If you send to the graveyard, you can target one of your Goukis or cover a Gouki in the grave with less attack, and force your opponent to attack that Gouki while it's face up on the board. Really good for the combo. You have, of course, our fluff cards, like a Dino Wrestler Gigasvit, which prevents opponent from playing spell traps in the battles. Your opponent cannot target monsters with attack except for itself. You can pop cards on the board. And if it would be destroyed, you can destroy another card you control instead, like any Gouki, and set them off. You have a T-Rex still here, which, again, opponent can't play spell traps with attacks, has piercing damage, gets stronger when it destroys stuff. When it gets destroyed by card effect, it nukes your opponent's attack position monsters. And lastly is the Tyrant Ogre, which you saw in the last duel, which just allows me to link off, or go into my links, use Sheik Diffusion. Tyrant Ogre can compile cards up to the link ratings of the monsters I used to summon them. So you can get like 6 pops. You can pop 6 cards on the board, with our setup here. I mean, you can go higher, but that's just getting excessive. But you could do it. So, and again, your opponent can't do nothing when this guy attacks. So really good as a finisher with this card. So that's the deck, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I got to check out the deck I have on Discord, but I'm also looking at some Magnificestorms and some Trap Tricks and a bunch of other decks I just really want to play. So till next time, your boy Memphis is signing out. Until then, stay safe and happy. Y'all have a wonderful day. Let me know if you like the audio now, because I'm trying yet again to make the audio end good. Who knows if that'll ever work, but we'll keep trying regardless. See y'all next time, and until then, y'all take care.